Hi there, Lorien here. I've already made my Life with Lorien video today, but I made it on my Mac. Actually, I made it in the study in front of the fire, and so I showed you my fire. I had good shots of the Danes on it, and I actually just kind of rambled around for 20-25 minutes about the things that were going on in our life. There was some history in there. Events that had happened in our life, and there was some things about what's about to happen in our life and reasons for you to hope that the life that we're creating for us is something you could create for you as well. Not that you need to create our form of bliss, but that it's actually possible for you to create your own form of bliss in your life. Whatever bliss looks like for you, it is very possible for you to actually have. And so, but you know what? I couldn't get it uploaded. I have, where we live in Vermont, it's backwards in some ways technologically. I can go 20 minutes into Lebanon where there's a lot of businesses, and I can go find a coffee shop with a Wi-Fi there and upload things and download things, and it takes half a minute, just like it does probably in wherever it is that you live. But, you know, 20 minutes away where I live, there's enough hills and valleys and things that I have this little hotspot box. That's my Wi-Fi, and it takes forever to upload and to download. And so I did get my smaller video, Life with Lorien video that I did on my Mac uploaded a few weeks back, but I went to try to upload this one and I couldn't get it done. So I don't know if there's a step that I'm not remembering to do, or if it just, you know, was taking forever because of the length of the video. But when I first tried to get my original Mac, I'm gonna scoot up here because my back is tired, and my husband's chair works really well for him but sucks for me, because he's a big guy and I'm not such a big girl and height-wise, and so anyway, that's the chair deal. So in order to be comfortable with my back against the back, I have to pull it up, and my feet are just almost off the floor, and it's ridiculous. But anyway, that's a whole other story. So so I'm going to go tomorrow to a friend's house and see if I can upload that in a better location, to see if I've forgotten a step. And if I forgot a step, she'll be able to remind me. Or if it's just the fact that my little Wi-Fi box sucks, which it could very well be. Anyway, so I'm doing my Life with Lorien over, which is fine, because I actually had a great day today. I've kind of putzed around the house, and it's been damp, and so, you know, kind of a little bit rainy and damp. Not that cold. It was like in the 50s today, which is warm in Vermont this time of year. And so, but I decided it was damp enough in the house that I would have what'll probably be my last Vermont fire in the fireplace here in this house, because it's the middle of April, and we're slated to leave for Colorado first week of June. So it's coming up here. My husband's last day of work is next Tuesday, and then we're headed off to Chicago, and then when we get back, we're going to have to start making plans in earnest to make our departure. We'll have to really knock out getting the house settled, because my real estate lady told me it takes about 45 days for a house to close, and so we're actually really kind of coming up on the deadline there to get it sold, if we're gonna sell it, or as opposed to renting it. So we'll have to look at all that when we get back from Chicago. Actually, you know, look at how far out on the timeline we are, and whether or not we're going to have to make a decision to switch to Plan B. But we've got a week or two before we have to tackle that. And so when we get home from Chicago, we'll be making the last of the decisions about the house, and really then preparing in earnest to hit the road, which is going to be wonderful fun. And so it's going to be a short and sweet probably tonight, because I've really said everything I had to say on the one I already did. But you won't get to see that one until I get it posted on YouTube. But I do just want to say that I'm really, really thankful that we persevered in our dream and in our expectation that there was a way other than going off to a job every day to make a living that actually allowed you to have a life, which is what we have here. I read, there was a thing going around on Facebook, I think, or maybe it's something that someone that I know posted on something or said, and it was something to the effect of, instead of looking forward to having a few weeks of vacation, maybe it was Justin French, instead of looking forward to a few weeks of vacation that you get every year, why not create for yourself a life that you don't need a vacation from? And you know what? That's exactly what we've done. We have created for ourselves a way to leave our jobs and be on vacation all the time. Yes, we have to work our business, but it's not anything that takes a huge amount of time, and the farther along we go, the less actual time it's going to take us, because it compounds. You know, when you start out, to be perfectly honest, it's like anything else in life. When you start out, you work your ass off, but it's worth it, because and the farther into it you go, the more you learn, and how much of your ass working off you have to do really depends on how big of a learning curve your learning curve is. We came in here with nothing in terms of the ability to work this business, and so it was a straight up learning curve for us. And so, in the beginning, while you're getting things set up, while you're learning how to blog, while you're learning how to market, while you're learning how to create momentum, you work your ass off for a couple of months. But the result of that is, the further along you go, the better you get at what you do, the less amount of time it takes you, the more of an intuitive understanding of what you need to do and when you need to do it develops. Your intuitive knowing of how to relate with people gets better. Your marketing avenues get better. The more you learn, the better able you are to choose between options, the ones that are going to work for you. And the business grows. And so the amount of time that you have to spend actually working your business gets shorter and shorter as your income grows. And I got to tell you, it don't get any better than that. So if you know something that's better than that, let me know, because I haven't come up with anything better than that. And part of the beauty of it here is that we actually get paid 100% commissions on everything that we sell, because the Daves, the folks who actually created this business, make their money the same way I do. They're affiliates of their own product, so they're in the game. They didn't create this business so that they could sit on top of the hill and do nothing and make money off of our efforts. They actually market their own products, and everything about what they do is exactly what we do, which if you were in the business, you would understand all of the systems that are in place here. And there isn't one system in place here that they do not operate under. And so when they say that they teach you how to do what they're doing, they absolutely mean that. They teach you how to do exactly what they're doing to make the money that they're making, which is a fabulous amount of money. And so there's actually a good number of people here that are making a fabulous amount of money, and we are well on our way. We're well enough on our way that we've both been able to walk away from our jobs. And so I'll tell you what, it's great. It's really great. And so, but you know what, a few years ago it seemed like an impossible dream. But we were persistent, and we just said, you know what, we know there's a way, we know there's a way, and we just kept looking, and we didn't let the fact that the things that we tried did not work for us keep us from finding the thing that did work for us. So whether or not you succeed in life might just depend on where your stops are. What's your level of tenacity? You know, how far do you go before you run into something that's what I call a stopper for you? You know, if you just, so if you're the kind of person that breaks a nail and that's a stopper for you, you're not going to get very far in life, and you're not going to ever realize your dreams. You know, but if you're the kind of person that says, you know, I'm going to die trying, then you know what, doggone it, you will get there. And so that's kind of where we were. We didn't see any way in the conventional way of going about life to get what we wanted, so we started looking outside the box. And what we discovered was that the box is slavery. And I said a lot about that in my other little Life with Lorien video that I did. So when I get that posted, you'll be able to hear all that bit. You know, but it really is. You know, you go to work and you spend. Oh, hang on. I gotta go shut my timer off.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, I had to do it. It would make me crazy listening to it.
Wow.
All right, here I am back again. I'm heating up. My husband's laughing at me because I wouldn't shut my timer off in my video. You know what? This is Life with Lorien. It's my video. I can do whatever the hell I want. And if my timer was going to make me nuts, I'm heating up my bone broth. Every day I have some bone broth. I make a big batch of bone broth in the crock pot every 3 or 4 days, and I just have a glass every day. It's good stuff, full of nutrients and things that are missing in the diet of most Americans because we don't eat like we were designed to eat. And so bone broth is one of the things that I do to make sure that I get all the minerals that I need to keep vibrant, because I intend to live to be like at least 150. I mean, once I got over being chronically depressed and thinking life sucked and realizing that life was supposed to be fun and started having some, I decided that, doggone it, you know, I'm going to live to be at least 150 because it's kind of fun hanging out here and being part of this human experience. So bone broth is one of the things I do to see to it that I'm healthy and don't expire sooner than I'd like. So short of getting run over by a truck, which of course could happen to anyone. But anyway, so where was I? Where was I before I went running off to check my bone broth and turn off my timer? I think I was talking about how jobs are slavery, actually, which they really are. I mean, if you really stop and think about what your life consists of, if you are running off to a job every day, and put it in the context of even going back 100 years, it's an amazing difference. We've been trained by our society to be slaves to corporations and to an economic environment that doesn't allow you to have a life. And so we've stepped out of that, and it's available for anyone to step out of, actually, if you just decide that that's something that you want to do. There's options out there everywhere. I personally think we came up with the best one, but they're everywhere. And if you have a particular thing that you love, I mean, 100 years ago, people made their living doing things that they loved, and they knew their neighbors, and they knew all their neighbors' kids. And communities were communities. Cities, I've really come to believe that cities are nothing more than factory farms for humans. They needed human slaves to do their mass production so that they could make huge amounts of money. And so cities became factory farms for humans. And that's not how we used to live, and that's not how we're designed to live. You know, we used to live in communities where people mattered. And so and people made their money doing things that they actually really loved to do. There was no their income was not a separate piece of their life that made it so that the rest of their life really didn't work very well for them. And that's what most people live under these days. That's what my husband and I lived under for, you know, well, I'm 56, he's 58, and we've lived under that the whole of our lives. And so it's about damn time, in my opinion. And I'm so glad that we figured it out and that we have gotten ourselves out of that. I mean, I just can't begin to tell you how glad I am, and I'm so excited for the future that we're getting ready to embark on. And so anyway, I'm getting ready to go get my bone broth and get this posted up on my blog site, and I'll get it out there on Facebook for you folks that are my Facebook friends. And then I'm gonna, the Daves are having a webinar tonight, which they used to do all the time, and they've gotten so busy running this crazy business. It's just the best thing ever. That they don't have. Of course, Dave Wood lives in Costa Rica, and Dave Sharp lives down in Florida. Which, you know, I've been in Florida. I don't know why you like it, Dave. I didn't find anything about Florida that appealed to me. I grew up in Southern California, so I do enjoy warm, but it's a whole different deal than Florida. And so anyway, they're doing a webinar tonight at 9 o'clock. There are 4 folks here in Empower Network, and our company is only, I think it's like 18 months old. There's 4 folks that have already made $1 million here, and so you know, it's 100% profits. So it's easier to do that in other places. And so anyway, the webinar tonight is going to be probably about those 4 folks and the folks who are making, you know, what at one point in time seemed to me a brain-bending amount of money a month. But now I believe it's possible for me. I mean, I used to think making $10,000 a month would be just like, you know, to die for. And, you know, we haven't got there yet. We're well on our way. And we'll be there in a month, 2 at the most, I believe. But I see guys like Tony, who's my sponsor, who makes over $100,000 every month, and that's not brain bending to me at all anymore, because I know Tony, and I've seen what he does, and I've seen how he's done it, and I know that I can do that, and I know what that money's going to do. I know exactly what I'll do with that money when it starts coming in. Which is one of the reasons why it will come in. If you want to increase your income, you have to know what that money's for. You can't just say, oh, I want to make a lot of money, because everybody wants to make a lot of money. You've got to know what the money's for. And I know exactly what the money's for. I know exactly what I'll do with it. And I know exactly how much I need, and it's a fortune. But I can make a fortune here, and I can do all the things that I've had in my heart to do. And so anyway, that's my life with Lorien today, and I will try to get the one I made today posted for you all tomorrow, and if not, then I'll just sit here and make another one. And in the meantime, oh, you should see the days. They're laid out in there. My study is like 100 degrees because I lit a fire, which they always think I light for them, which of course I never do. I light the fire for me. But they are laid out, panting, like they're about to die in there, which I think is hysterical because they enjoy the fire so much they will not move. I hope they're enjoying it. It's probably the last one they're going to get on this side of the country. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.